Hi, it's Natasha. I got a request for how to flip your grip. And to be honest, I haven't done it in quite some time. It's not really in my practice, but I go through the stretches that I would do when I want to get a cool king pigeon or king dancer pose picture. So basically it will be similar to the hollow back class where I'm going to do a lot of shoulder opening. That is the most important thing, back bending and shoulder opening, so that we can reach back and grab that foot. There is a technique to it. You probably won't be able to just reach and grab, but we will take the palm up, grab the outside top of the foot, I'm not stretched at all, and then spin the elbow upward. And the props you'll need, some kind of strap, a yoga strap, maybe a heavy weight will help open up the shoulders. So I grabbed a 20-pound kettlebell, some yoga blocks, and perhaps you can stretch on a yoga wheel, or I like to do some stretches against a wall, puppy pose and back bending, walking down the wall. Again, just to open everything up so we're more likely to be able to reach that foot. Let's start in a puppy pose. You can bring 2 blocks down and just start by bringing your elbows on top and letting your head fall right in between, thumbs to the base of the neck, and just take some breaths here, relaxing through the hips, the spine, and feeling the triceps lengthen, the chest fall heavy, either on the knees, or you can open the knees and try to allow it to fall towards the mat. Let's take a couple of deep breaths, grounding down, meeting our bodies and minds where they are, coming into this moment. Deep breath into the back. Big audible sigh, exhale. Release something. Face, hips. Deep breath in. Expand through the rib cage, fill the lungs. Exhale, big sigh. Completely emptying out any stale air in the body. Any tension, any negative thoughts, judgment, expectations. Let's have no expectations and just see what happens. Maybe we'll get that flip grip today. Maybe it will take another year. One more deep breath in. And big sigh out. Stretch the arms out. Walk your blocks away. And again, just allow the forehead and the chest to melt. You can rock and wiggle the hips from side to side. And then let's take a stretch off the mat, reaching one hand and the other on top, side body, lateral stretch. Curl your fingers out and away as you shift your hips in opposition. Deep breath in and out. And the other side, walk your hands across and off your mat. Pull the hips in opposition, take a deep breath in. Challenge those edges, so we're not going to be quite comfortable in the stretches, but we're also not going to go to the point of pain. Deep breath in and sigh it out. Moving into a deeper puppy pose stretch. Let's walk the knees back and then try to just melt the chest down. So maybe the forehead lands. Still taking it a little bit easy as we bring our flexibility into the body. So we don't have to push it too much just yet. You could try going from forehead to topping the chin. Scoop the belly in, allow the shoulders to sink. And then walk yourself into tabletop. Spread the fingers for cat-cow. Exhale, round the spine, separate the shoulder blades, tuck the tailbone, draw the belly in. Inhale, lift head, chest, and tailbone. Really pull the mat backwards. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, retract. Exhale, protract, separate shoulder blades, tuck tailbone, shake the head out, no. Inhale, lift head, chest, and tailbone, draw the mat backwards. Lift the tailbone, pry the chest open, squeeze shoulder blades back. Nice. And then vigorous cat-cow with a powerful breath. Last one. Getting the spine nice and mobile. Wiggle those hips from side to side, wagging your tail, and then side body crunch, shoulder to hip, center, shoulder to hip, center. Feel the obliques. Twist, center, twist, and center. Good. 4, 3, 2. Imagine your shoulder is going to reach that hip, and 1. Let's take a downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, and then start to just paddle. Chest towards toes. And again, like you're trying to press the mat forward. Any movements here, swaying, hips go side to side, lengthening the side body. You definitely need that as well when you're gonna reach back and flip the grip. Nice big pedal, high, and low. All right, coming back down. Let's go ahead and take your strap. So it doesn't have to be a loop band. You can grab onto whatever you have. And we'll just start to pull the arms behind the ears, and you can try to pump back, little pulse, and then start to pull the ribs and belly in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right out in front of you, just waking up the chest, pull the band or your strap away, even if it has no give. Just imagine, use the tension of your shoulders, triceps, and chest to pull. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take your right elbow up, left arm's gonna pull back. We're gonna just try to pull that right elbow towards the sky. Wherever you can reach back, you could start to take it into a gentle back bend, and if it feels safe, you could even drop the head. Breathe. Exhale, tuck the chin. Slowly pull out of that. Take a cat back to counter. Any wiggles, you rock, circle the shoulders. Let's take the left arm up, and then the right arm's gonna pull back. So it's like you're bending the elbow, and you're trying to pull the arms behind the body. The shoulder, the elbow back away from the ear. So see if you can create that freedom and space so you could see your ear if you're looking in a mirror, right? Go ahead and start to take it into a back bend. Maybe your fingertips land and maybe you drop your head. No force, just see where you can take it to. If it doesn't feel safe to drop the head, tuck it back in and just find some ease to let that elbow continue to float back. And then slowly tuck the chin and pull the arms in front. Pretty intense here. Big breath in and out, some cat-cows. And we can take this, if you have a wide enough band that you can floss the shoulders. I'm gonna try it. I'm not sure if this will open it as wide as I need, but you can try to completely pull the arms behind the head. So I had to bend to make that happen, but maybe you can find something that you can just floss forward and back, or you could do it without any equipment. And I keep hitting my plant. Okay, just try to pull the arms through your range of motion, challenging that edge, finding that rotation in the shoulder joint. Again, maybe I don't want to break the band. Oh, it's a little bit tight for me. So wiggling and making it work. So even if you need to bend one elbow, bend and then pull out, or if you have a wide enough prop, I'm sure I have something that you can just continue to floss. Take a couple moments to do that a little bit. And if you have a yoga wheel, let's go ahead and do some stretches on the wheel. If you don't, you could grab a chair and just arch back and try to grab the handles of your chair. All right, so hopefully you have a wheel or a chair you can work on. If not, you could also just continue to stretch in puppy or those flossing shoulder moves. Or you could go and do some puppy on a wall. I'm gonna try to do that here in a few moments to show you what that looks like, but let's go ahead and roll out on your wheel. And if you don't have a wheel, I don't want to smush you, kitty. You are laying back over a chair. Let your body relax over the wheel. So we're dropping the tailbone into it, and we're trying to round and melt the shoulders over. Take some breaths here, and you can rock and roll it a little bit. So we ideally, for the flip grip, we're definitely going to have to be able to do this where you're able to grab the wheel behind you and then pull the body onto it. So we're finding a nice deep back bend and that shoulder opener at the same time, which is exactly what you want when you're flipping your grip. So continue to breathe and hang out in this position until it feels comfortable. And then you could try to walk the hands down the wheel, wiggle the fingers down the wheel, and then relax again. So just take some moments, some quiet moments and breaths to find ease here. If it starts to get intense, you could come out of it for a moment, take a small countering turtle shell, forward fold, and then go for it again. Reaching back, walking the fingers down as far as you can, and then trying to just melt the whole spine. You can rock back and forth. So you probably want open hip flexors because when we reach for that foot, you're also stretching the leg, the front quad and hip flexor. So we can work on straightening the legs and pulling yourself forward. Basically, all the back bending you can do before trying to flip the grip is a great warm-up. Wheel pose, of course, is going to help you because you have that shoulders. You have your shoulders really open and in that same rotating position. And then also just focusing, we'll do some lunging for the legs. And if you're flipping the grip in pigeon, you'll want to stretch some pigeon as well. So you have that external rotation on the front hip going on. Just breathe. Take your time. You can always hit pause if you want to stretch for a longer amount of time. I'm just kind of going through this to show you ideas of different ways to warm up before even trying the flip grip. All right. The next one I'm going to do is take my heavy weight, whether it's a kettlebell or a dumbbell. And again, if you don't have them, you can just skip those exercises or stretches. So what I'm going to do is take a tricep dip over the head and then start to just allow the weight to be heavy and pull my arms back, my elbows back. Good. You can let the body arch, breathe, and then find neutral. Squeeze the ribs and belly in. Do that a couple of times. Dropping, you could also do this standing. Be careful that you're still strong enough to pull the weight in. One more time, you could also put the kettlebell or the weight right like in the traps on that meaty part of the back and then try to back bend into it. And exhale. All right, so tricep press to come out of it and let that go. So let's take a lunge and then we'll go to the wall. So maybe a lizard lunge, right foot's forward, rocking the knee open and close, external rotation, and then neutral, open and close. So we're stretching the left hip flexor and quad so that eventually the more bendy you are there, the easier it's going to be to grab that foot. So we want really pretty much everything stretched out for this. Hamstrings, maybe not quite so much, depending on the shape that you're going for. So we have our lizard. You can take a quick hamstring stretch, but then let's take a deep quad stretch. So from your half split, any movements, breath, come back. Bring your left hand down or even the forearm down and grab the outside top of the foot. So here's where we want to pull the heel in, really intensely stretching that quad. And then the shoulder pulls out as you kick back. So this is a great one as well. Hug it in, sink the hip, push it away. Come on back through. Lift the back knee nice and strong. Push the shoulders down, protract them, and then retract, relax that knee towards the mat. Shine the chest forward. All right, let's take a pigeon. So I'm just gonna warm up on the right side and flip the grip with my left hand. I think usually your non-dominant side is the more flexible. It's not quite as strong. Your muscles might be a little bit weaker, and for me, I can do my left side a lot easier than my right. So for today's purposes, I'm gonna stick on this side, but of course, pause it, try everything on both sides. So let's hang out in a pigeon, and we wanna get, while we're in our pigeon and stretching our hip, we wanna make sure we can still back bend in the pose. So maybe let's take a yoga block and start to push the chest up and the head back so that we can really reach back there and get that foot. Take a moment, counter, and try a couple times there. So it's that place of working really hard and then finding some ease, that exhale, surrender breath to soften what's tensing up and coming up for you. All right, almost ready to try the flip grip. And of course you could first try it with a strap and start to walk your hands down. But I'm gonna just do two more stretches using a wall. I'm gonna try to use my fireplace. The first one would be a puppy pose at the wall. Try to bring your chest to it and send your tailbone away. Chin and chest, breathe. I'm shaking here. Round the back to come out of it and try it a couple times. So again, really thinking of opening up the chest. And then the next one, I'm gonna do this kneeling since I don't actually have a wall, but it works really well to do a back bend standing where you'll reach back and walk your hands down the wall and continue to push the chest upward, the hips forward. So I'm doing it in camel, but absolutely try it in a standing back bend. Either way. All right, so I'm gonna walk my hands down and then try to straighten my arms, pull the chest up and the hips forward. And you might need to adjust where you are, whether you move a little bit further away. Just practice and see what feels right. So you could keep trying to bend into it, push into straight arms as you lift the chest, come on out, and then you could try to keep walking the hands lower. I used to do this one all the time when I was more flexible. So I know it's a good one. So any kind of camel, again, where you are stretching the shoulders over the head is the shape that we want and that we're making. I'm gonna try this one more time, and then I'm gonna go for the flip grip. Take a moment, maybe a child's pose, allowing the spine to decompress. All right, so we're gonna try the flip grip in pigeon and low lunge today, but of course you can also try this in dancer standing. Come into pigeon pose. You can work on just hugging that heel in, pulling away. Hugging the heel in and pulling away. Then grab your strap. Flex the foot so you do not lose the strap and hit yourself in the head, which I have done before. Elbow, so you're gonna grab the strap with your palm facing outward. Flip your elbow upward and drop your head. So you could try to get both arms, hands reaching the strap, and then walk down the strap and just hang out here. Again, pulling the foot back will help you stretch the shoulders and open them more, or you're gonna try to hug the heel in and pull the elbows forward. Again, please keep the foot flexed so you don't lose the strap and it flies off. But when you don't have the strap and you're grabbing the foot, you can point the toe, do whatever you like. So you can hang out here, trying to walk down your strap, keep pulling the elbows inward and then away from you. Couple breaths here. Engage the glutes, turn the left hip forward, right hip pulls back. All right, stay as long as you like to come out of it. Elbow sideways and down, and then release the strap. Take a moment, whatever you want to do. Maybe wash those knees side to side, relaxing through hip flexors, and some ease in the low back, and some cat-cow here. All right. If you're comfortable with inversions, a really fun way to open up the shoulders for this is just to practice a hollow back pinch-up. You can absolutely do it with your toes to the wall and try to puff your chest forward and away from the wall. Sink your hips back into the wall or just sink your hips back. If you are comfortable with freestanding hollow back, just to give you a visual, it works with gravity. So gravity helps open up the shoulders this way. But you want to be comfortable in pincha, obviously, and to be able to hold it. So just one more option for you. Coming into a tuck position is my favorite. Elbows stay under shoulders. Try not to let them splay too far out. Pull the head through and then keep puffing the chest forward as you sink the hips back in a counterbalance. And then just let gravity take over. Strong shoulders. Hips back, hips back, hips back. And slowly bring the head through and come on down. So that would be one more way to really help open the shoulders up for flipping that grip. I'm gonna go for it. I'll know if my stretches worked well based on if I can do this today. So coming into that pigeon pose, take a moment. Palm up. First it's gonna face away. You're gonna flip it upward, grab the top of the foot. All right, so here is the big test. As I pull the foot in, I'm gonna rotate my elbow upward. Continue to spin the elbow up, grab onto the foot, and then maybe take that head back. All right, you could take the other hand, find your arm, and walk down to either the hand or maybe you can reach the foot. And when you're releasing it, slowly let it go. I'm gonna press back into down dog and then just decompress. So these are pretty big stretches when you haven't done them for a while. Child's pose or downward facing dog. Take some time. Again, I'm going through this quite quick. You might want to take longer in the stretches if you didn't feel like you were anywhere near, or just keep practicing with the strap as long as you need. We try it in a low lunge position. So in your low lunge, you need to really be sinking low on this one. Probably won't work with the hip back because you'll have a really hard time getting that foot off. So finding that low lunge position where you're sinking into the lunge and the back knee is away from the hip. Take a moment, bend the knee, flip your palm up, all right, so out to the side, flip it, grab the top of the foot. outside grip on the top of the foot. And then you try to lean back and spin the elbow up. Oof. Definitely take some balance on this one. And release. All right, so you can see that this is hard for me too. If you're not quite somebody that's naturally bendy or flexible, you still can do it. It just takes practice and some really intense stretching beforehand. So always just remember you can do lots of puppy poses. Wheel pose is a really good one. If you do all the same warm-ups that you do for wheel and your shoulders are nice and open in it, you should be able to do a flip grip position. The trick is all about just knowing that you're reaching for the outside top of the foot and then slowly spinning the elbow upward. Eventually you'll be able to take that other arm. For me, I have to really grab up high and crawl, 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 and then sometimes I can get both feet in my hands and release. All right, I hope that was helpful. Take some time in a child's pose or even a little shavasana to just allow all of that really deep stretching to relax. And let me know if it was helpful for you, if you were able to do it. Congratulations. Thanks for taking class. I'll see you next time.